Do you lack fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy plays, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Matt, Shane, and Jason with you guys again tonight on this lovely, beautiful, gorgeous evening here in Kansas. I don't know what it's like in Texas, Jason. We'll let you say that in just a minute. But if you guys want to follow us on our socials, at Matt_ParlayFF, at Shane ParlayFF, and at Jason ParlayFF on the old X machine. We hope that you guys continue to keep subscribing, showing us the love. We really do appreciate it. You can find the podcast on any of the platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify.
Jason, whatever you're doing is so loud, brother.
Yes, and I can hear whatever is going on in the background. You guys are making a lot of noise, but he's shaking his head like this ain't me.
I was like, what am I doing?
You can find us over there. We hope that you continue to subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. We really do appreciate it, guys. We love you all, and we hope we can continue doing this. With that being said, Shane and Jason, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, I am doing fantastic, sir. Thank you for having us back and not kicking us off the show after. Well, actually, I should say that save this for the next time after I kick your butt in the startup draft. But yeah, it's great to be back. It's great to be talking about football. And fun fact, guys, we are less than 40 days away from the NFL draft.
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
It's right here.
Hey, the NFL season goes year round, and I love how they market it like that. It's a beautiful day out here in Texas. It was actually hot today. I'm sweating a little bit, so hey, no complaints out of me.
That's great. That's great. Well, I'm glad my two co-hosts are here with me tonight. Like I said, we love doing this, guys. Before we jump into this draft, okay, we guys, just so everyone knows, you can find us over on YouTube as well. Shane, what is the YouTube name? It's
Parlay FF Podcast.
Okay, guys, head on over to YouTube. We are being able to put our video on there. We are working on some more things to be able to stream some live stuff for you guys. So head on over to YouTube.
Whoa, we are live right now. Just on YouTube.
Okay.
We'll be streaming to Twitch hopefully the next session, and then as well as YouTube, and we'll try to get up on some other cool things as well.
I just really wish Jason would stop moving, because every time he touches his phone or his mic, I don't know what it is. It's a cord or something, but something's making noise in the background, so we do apologize for that. But he's sitting there just smirking. Yeah, guys, so tonight we are going to be doing a mock draft, okay? It is just going to be a dynasty startup draft. We are going to do some rookie drafts, probably a little bit closer to the draft when we get some more clarity, or after the draft. But we wanted to bring you guys a fun mock draft tonight, kind of evaluate where we see players currently right now. So it's just going to be a shorter draft. It's going to be 12 rounds. There's 12 teams. There's 3 of us in it. The rest are computers. It'll be interesting to see where they draft or who they draft. We are going to have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex, and 5 bench spots. And that's how we're going to do tonight's draft. I'm currently drafting at the 9 spot. We did randomize, and we did it 3 times on Sleeper. So I'm going to be drafting at the 9 spot. Shane's going to be drafting at the 4, and Jason's going to be drafting at the 12. And we will kind of talk about our picks and just a little bit about the players as we go along and do this, and so on and so forth. So do you guys want to do the draft? You guys ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
Alrighty, so I'm going to start this up, and we will see who gets chosen first. Oh, that's loud. Computer took. Let me turn off that sound there.
Yeah.
All of us
so
did the exact same thing.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb, 3 wide receivers off the board. Very first, Shane, you are on deck. What you got?
So because the top 3 wide receivers went, I'm actually going to pivot.
I hear you, Shane.
Really? You can't hear me?
I don't know. Go. Say something again.
What? Hello?
Okay, now I can hear you.
You muted me, I understand.
Off. on the computer.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's fine. I was just going to launch into the fact that I was going to pivot here at the 4 spot with the top 3 wide receivers off the board. Matt, can you clarify? Is this PPR or like full point PPR? What is this?
Yes, this is full point PPR. I forgot to say that. This is full point PPR.
Okay. Then I'm going to pivot because those top 3 guys are gone. I don't really think of Amon-Ra in that same tier. I think he's close, but I don't think he's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stash the ultimate running back of the future and the now, Bijan Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
Okay.
I don't love going running back early, especially since this is supposed to be like a startup dynasty. But with Bijan in the situation he's at, he's RB1. He will be RB1 for the foreseeable future.
I do. You know what? I really don't mind that. I was when you were talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm in that same boat. I want to see like where he goes in drafts this year, and obviously, he went to Team 5 at pick 105 right after you chose. I'm curious to see how much he's going to move up, and same with Bijan. I am curious to see these two players. There are going to be some moves this year. So after Shane took Bijan, Amon-Ra went, then Josh Allen and Patty Mahomes. 2 quarterbacks off the board at pick 106 and 107. Christian McCaffrey at pick 108. I am currently on the clock. And, I haven't quite like ranked my players yet for Dynasty. I'm working on that currently right now. So I think what I'm going to do this go around here is I'm going to see what running backs are available, kind of skim down the board and see, who might fall to me back in the second round. Wide receivers, there are a few that I really like. And I think I'm going to take the one that I am currently, we talked about him a little bit on the pod or before the podcast started. So I'm going to take AJ Brown right here at pick 109. I don't want him to get snatched up by someone else. So I'm going to take AJ Brown with Jalen Hurts. I still think he's a formidable wide receiver, and I'm happy to have him. Garrett Wilson went at 110, then CJ Stroud at 111. Jason, that's got to break your heart a little bit. You're on pick 12, buddy. What you got?
Yeah, I was planning on stacking them up back to back. I was going to go CJ Stroud in the second, to be completely honest with y'all, but that kind of threw me a curveball. But what I'm going to do right here, I'm falling for the hype. I'm going to go Puka. Then I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
To get a wide
That's what I
receiver
was
running
wondering.
back combo.
Jahmyr over Brees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how there's no injury history with Jahmyr.
I was wondering about when Jahmyr and Brees were going to go off the board, and it's at 201 and 202. I don't mind it. It's back to me. Jalen Waddle went at 203. So Jason has Puka Nacua and Jahmyr Gibbs, and Brees Hall went. Then Jalen Waddle went. That's kind of crazy. Jalen Waddle. Do you guys agree with Jalen Waddle going before Tyreek Hill?
I understand it due to the fact that Tyreek is
Yeah.
getting up there in age, and since it's dynasty, most people value that age gap significantly. I am more shocked that he went before Chris Olave.
Yeah.
that would
even
be
Chris
that would
Olave.
be somebody I would take before Olave. Like Olave would be somebody I would take over Waddle there.
Yeah.
I don't hate it though.
I mean, staring at the board here, it is very tempting to not take Tyreek at the 204 to pair with AJ Brown. The two pretty solid names. I do love Chris Olave right here as well. There's a running back that I know Shane really likes that I'm very, very confident in this year. So I'm contemplating now, do I go running back here and lock up? Nope, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go wide receiver, and I know he's getting older, but I'm gonna take Tyreek Hill to pair with AJ Brown. That's a pretty formidable duo right there, and I'm happy to do that. So after I took Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave went, who we just talked about, Jonathan Taylor, Sam Laporta to Team 6 at 207, Jalen Hurts at 208. Shane, you're back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm sad. Team 6 sniped
I know-
me.
Sniped.
I wanted
I know who you're
Laporta.
gonna take right here.
I was 1000% taking Laporta there, and there was zero hesitation in my brain that was going to be my pick. So I am going to go with Brandon Ayuk as my pick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's top on the board for a reason. He is the premier option in San Fran's passing attack, and there's rumors that Debo's on the move. Those haven't come to fruition yet, but we'll take it for now. And yeah, pretty nice little core here of young guys.
And
And
you
then
know what, Shane? I've heard some rumors of Brandon Ayuk getting shipped to the team that I'm wearing currently right now.
I think that the more probable outcome is they trade Debo, since there's overlap in what he, Kittle, and CMC do. Ayuk is the only guy on that team that does what he does. And it's really hard to replace at the level that Ayuk performs at. And so I think that just makes it's too big of a difference as far as the value-wise goes there.
So who went after you took Ayuk?
We had Travis Etienne, puke, Lamar at team 2, Pittman, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, and then
That's crazy.
Devonta Smith.
I thought you were going to go Kyron Williams, right? At 2-0. You're picking the second.
I was tempted to go Kyron. I am a little hesitant on Kyron currently because I think the Rams may add to that running back room. And while he dominated last year, there's nothing in the NFL that says you guarantee your job the next year at the running back position. Like,
right.
They didn't add in free agency, which was nice, but that doesn't mean that they won't add in the draft and that somebody won't cut into some of those touches. So, little hesitant on that. No one's going to cut into Bijan's, so that was the main reason.
100%.
Now with Nico staring at me on the board, that's very tempting. But I'm going to go for a guy that I know you really like and someone that I think solidifies a position very well for me, and that is Trey McBride.
Oh, Trey. I love Trey J.
I feel like him and Laporta are like 1A, 1B for tight end dynasty wise right now, and like the performance that they put up, and they're both really young. You have to hop all over that opportunity there.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm gonna go running back here. Skimming through some stuff. I've got 2 wide receivers. There's still plenty of players in quarterback that I don't mind having. There's a few running backs that I don't mind, a couple getting up there in age and a couple that are still fairly youthful. And I know that this guy is going to rise up the board significantly this year. So I'm going to take him off the board before I can't take him anymore. And that's Isaiah Pacheco. The guy runs so hard. He runs with passion. You know, he had a little bit of injury scare last year, but the way that this dude runs reminds me of Adrian Peterson, and he just runs so hard, so tough to bring down, and that dude pops right back up faster than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. So getting him in the 3rd round right here, youthful guy, I like him being my RB1.
Matt, could I as the resident Chiefs head here, I love the pick. I am also worried Pacheco is going to get competition. There is a real chance with the fact that he has no draft capital to his name that the Chiefs add someone later rounds with maybe their comp pick, maybe a Trey Benson, maybe a complimentary guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Because McKinnon's gone. No, I'm not.
I think you're just wishing.
There have been some rumors spilled around based off of the guys they interviewed that may be a direction the Chiefs go in the later rounds.
We'll see.
For Pacheco's sake, I hope not, because I love the guy. Like, he's an amazing athlete. He's such a cool story. However, I am a little worried as a Pacheco owner in some leagues that he's gonna have some competition there that he hasn't had recently.
And I think that's the biggest worry about it. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And that goes for most of the people on the board. Like, there's very few running backs that have absolute job security.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's a good point. It's something to be aware of. It's something to be thinking about if you are doing a dynasty startup, and you obviously most of these aren't going to happen until after the draft is over. Just be paying attention to that. After I took Pacheco, Joe Burrow off the board, then DJ Moore. Jason, you're on the clock.
Yeah, so I'm going hometown boy. I love Tank Dell. I am skeptical about his injury and what's going on, but everything that I've heard about his fracture, he's doing well and recovering. I like that chemistry with him and CJ Stroud. Give me Tank Dell, then I'm going to. I really want to go Hawkinson right here, if we're being honest, but I don't know who they're going to go after for quarterback wise. So that's I'm a little hesitant on that. I'm going to go
Hawkinson so I can
Zay
blame you.
Flowers.
Oh, Zay Flowers. I like it. I don't hate that. I don't hate that young
youth
guy. Okay, I like it. Now, after he took Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews and Hawkinson both went off the board back to back. That puts me back on the clock. I have one running back, two wide receivers, and there is a guy on the tight end board who I am absolutely in love with, but that's not who I'm going to take. You guys know my love infatuation with Dalton Kincaid. I have him in like every single league. This year, I'm going to take another shot at Kyle Pitts with Kirk Cousins.
I love that.
At the helm. I really hope that he can bring Kyle Pitts and Drake London to life. They should be very good with him throwing 50 times a game and add Bijan Robinson into those throwing mixes. Those three should have outstanding seasons. So give me Kyle Pitts. DK Metcalf off the board, James Cook, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison. Shane, talk about your pick here.
I'll talk about both of them. I took Marvin Harrison and Rome Odunze. Honestly, I thought that maybe this was a vets only draft, and Sleeper hasn't updated ADPs because a lot of these haven't happened yet. Like these startup drafts haven't driven these ADPs higher. Harrison's probably going in your first or second round in most actual startup drafts. Sleeper's just goofy because rookies are currently buried due to these startup drafts not happening yet. Yeah, Harrison and Odunze, way better than everybody else left on the board. Yeah, that's it. That's the story. Odunze, I think him and Neighbors, I think Odunze may end up with a more favorable landing spot than Neighbors. Neighbors is more of like a YZ wideout. He's a slot / like kind of boundary, but he doesn't really have the size that you want in a typical boundary wide receiver at the NFL level. Rome offers the size that you want, and Marvin Harrison is just the most can't miss prospect in years. Although there's a ton of fatigue going with MHJ.
Yeah. Okay, so Shane had MHJ, then Rashee Rice went off the board. JSN at 4'11", 4'12", Stephon Diggs. 5'1", Anthony Richardson, Deebo Samuel, Trevor Lawrence at 5'3". Obviously, Shane took Rome Odunze, 5'4". Josh Jacobs off the board, then Jaden Reed. Dalton Kincaid went all the way back to 5'7", which that's pretty interesting. Rashad White, 5'8". I am on the clock here. I still only have one running back. I don't have a quarterback yet. My wide receiver spots are filled. I'm going to go ahead and take, in my opinion, probably one of the better running backs on the board right now, currently in a good situation. Again, injury stuff kind of scares me, but Saquon Barkley behind Philly's offensive line, he should do pretty darn good. So I'm not afraid to take Saquon right there.
Yeah, the fact that Jacobs went before Barkley is kind of mind-blowing in my brain right now. Although I will say that Aaron Jones was able to run behind the Green Bay offensive line, so
right, yeah. I don't mind Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, but I just think there's so much value with that offensive line in Saquon if he can stay healthy. So it's one of those things that remain to be seen. So Devontae Adams went at 5'10", George Pickens at 5'11". Jason, you're back on the clock, bud.
This is interesting because I just got sniped, and I wanted Pickens. To be completely honest, I love what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. I see you wearing your Pittsburgh stuff right now, so I was like, damn, that kind of hurts me right now. I'm gonna go with Kyler. still think he's one of the more athletic quarterbacks. I'm going quarterback early right now, just since I have back-to-back picks. Then from there, to struggle.
By the way,
I'm
to see
heartbroken.
rookies, you have to click rookies only.
I know.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't have to tell me that. It's okay.
I was
get
just saying you drafted Kyler, and the better
Yeah,
version of
'cause
Kyler is still on the board.
No, you're high. Then I'm gonna solidify my tight end position for the rest of the year. I'm going Brock Bowers.
There you go.
There
That's
he
a good.
is.
That's a good pick. I can get behind
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can too. I'm still without a quarterback. Again, with what's on the board, it's just kind of I might just wait and see. I know Shane was alluding to a rookie quarterback, but I'll let Shane take him. I'm going to get a rookie here, and it's a guy that Shane talked about a little bit earlier. I'll take Malik Neighbors. With the wideouts that I have on my team currently right now, he's a guy I can put on the bench and just wait and see what happens. So I'll take Malik Neighbors, get a rookie off the board. Travis Kelce finally went in the 6th round at 6:05. Alvin Kamara, Mike Evans, George Kittle off the board. Shane, you're back on the clock.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slam Caleb Williams here.
Yeah, that's who I figured you were talking about.
I honestly was tempted just to continue to let all of the rookies fall, but that's one that I just could not stand by and watch happen.
Especially now that he's got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. They're going to draft. I've got my opinion on who they're going to draft in this year's draft, but we'll remain to see what happens there at pick 109.
See, I think they trade back from 109. That's the incentive for me, unless one of the big names falls.
Right. Like my opinion is the way I looked at like 2 or 3 different mock drafts from people that were doing them on the NFL Network. And there's one, I can't remember who it was, but one of them made sense for these other teams to go up because they need their quarterback. And having Rome Odunze, if these other teams fill their actual needs that they actually need for their roster, Rome Odunze, they have sliding all the way to the 9th spot. And if he's there at 9, Chicago's taking him. If he's not there, I agree with you. I think they trade back.
So I think actually what's funny is that Keenan Allen and Rome are very similar players, and I think that having Rome be around Keenan would be such a beneficial thing to his development in the NFL.
100%.
So yeah, I'm completely on board.
If he's there at 9, dude, they're not trading back. They will take him. Okay, Shane, who went after you got Caleb?
So after I got Caleb, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Christian Kirk, which was a steal, Christian Kirk there. Scary Terry, Deontay Johnson, Carolina's new wide receiver 1, and then Tajay Spears off the board.
Okay.
Well, you know, they always say to draft not for position of need, but looking at what is currently available, I don't really like anybody at the top of the board here. Yeah, I can't get behind any of these guys at the top of the board to add to my roster, which is pretty youthful already. I'm gonna slide down here, and I'm gonna snag what I think is the best back on this list, and it's not based off of where he's currently getting drafted. I'm gonna take Ramondre.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a chance that New England adds a decent quarterback, which would allow for Ramondre to not have stacked boxes for once in his career. And that would be sick for his fantasy output. So I think that there's a possibility that maybe they get JJ or Drake May. I don't see Jaden Daniels in a Patriots uniform, but it could happen too.
Yeah, I don't mind that one bit. I'm going to take a little risk here. Well, actually, no, I'm not. He'll fall to me. Yeah, he'll fall to me next pick. All right, let's see. Who do I got? I got Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown as my wide receivers. Pacheco and Barkley as my running backs. Kyle Pitts as my tight end. You know, just going back, I'm just going to probably fill up a bench spot here. let's see here, boys. I'm going to go another wide receiver here. Again, it's a guy that's a little bit older, but I think he could have the potential for one of his best years this year, and he just got traded. I'm going to take Hollywood Brown right here at the 705 or the 709. I think this could be one of his better years that he's had in the NFL with Patty Mahomes as his quarterback. He's got all kinds of incentives if you go and research that. So give me Hollywood Brown, another wide receiver to shore up another bench spot, maybe even a flex. Brian Robinson went at 710, Zach Charbonnet at 711. Jason, you're on the clock, 712.
I actually do love that pick by you. And I'm going with the D-Gen that we all love. Not talking Shohei Ohtani right now, but Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
Then
Just hope Will Levis can get him the ball.
yes, I think Will Levis will force feed him if we're being completely honest with what's going on. I like the two receiver stack in that offense with him and Hopkins, and I think he will get separation. It's just like what you said. Can Levis get him the ball?
Right.
I'm praying on that. Then with the next pick, the back-to-back, do I trust Caleb Williams? No, but I trust Nick Chubb, and I think he has one or two more good years in him.
Okay. I was wondering when Nick Chubb was going to go off the board, and it ended up being at the 801. So he's off the board. Amari Cooper went off the board next. Then Keenan Allen at 803. I'm on the clock here at 804. I'm going to go ahead and get my quarterback now again. I told you earlier, I'm just going to do it, even though I know most of these teams have quarterbacks. It's a little scary to have him as my QB1, but he rose up boards. He had a fantastic year last year, and I think he continues to rise. Give me Jordan Love. Give me Jordan Love here in the 8th round, and let's see what he does this year.
Look, I actually love that pick. Jordan Love is the last of the quarterbacks. Like, I would say like top 8 is what I would grade them at. He is the 8th that is just outside where Caleb is in my rankings. So Caleb would fit in at 8 and he'd slide to 9. But there's 7 guys I'd rather have than Caleb. He is literally like fringe. Like there are times where I'm like, I'd prefer Jordan Love, and yeah, I think that he's gonna have another fantastic year. So looking forward to that.
Agree. Yeah, it is a little scary to have him be as your QB1. I know a lot of people are like, man, I don't, other guys would be picked up like Prescott or Tua, but Jordan Love had a great year last year, and a lot of people didn't really realize it, and it was very quiet. So I like it. I like having him as my QB1 here. So Javonte Williams went off the board next, then Jalen Warren, Aaron Jones off the board, Minnesota Vikings starting running back, Joshua Downs at the 808. Shane, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm looking at this board, and I want to throw up right now. And that means that I'm switching to the rookie tab.
Yes, you
and
are.
I'm taking Brian Thomas Jr., the man who only knows how to run a fly route, but has all of the intangibles that you could possibly want. He's like if you took DK Metcalf and threw him in a lab, because that is what Brian Thomas projects as. He's a complete project when he gets to the NFL. But if a team can shore up and expand his route tree, considering the fact that when he was at LSU, almost all he did was run fly routes and goes and just capitalize on his athleticism and let neighbors eat everybody else up. I think that it's a big question mark on if a team takes him, really likes him, and is able to build him into a full tree wide receiver, he's going to be unbeatable. And then I got sniped. Yeah. So let me talk about that. Team 3 took Tony Pollard, Njoku, and Derrick Henry, Jake Ferguson. And then the snipe was James Conner. And then Roshan Johnson went off the board. So Team 2, you guys are not cool with
Bastards.
Me. Yeah. Not cool, Team 2. I really wanted the rental that is James Conner. I think that he's super undervalued right now, and he has no competition out of backfield. So I'm going to go for, I think, another rental here. Maybe I won't. I'm kind of looking at the list here, and I don't see anything that's screaming, I need you on my team, which is kind of how I build my roster once I have my roster built. I really don't like a lot of the project rookies that are here. But I'm going to take a shot on what I think is the RB1 in this class.
Okay. You son of a bitch.
Jonathan Brooks, join the team. I don't need you to play anytime soon. So if you miss 1 or 2 weeks, it's fine. But if you want to talk about the guy that has the biggest chance to actually be a 3-down back in this draft class, it's probably Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent on. Well, you took Jonathan Brooks. That's who my selection was going to be, but I do have some backups here. Justin Fields went, who's newly acquired Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's go get it. Then Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff. Off the board, 4 straight quarterbacks. I'm back on the clock here at the 9:09. And like Shane alluded to, Jonathan Brooks was my next pick. To be quite honest with you, without knowing like where these guys are going to land, in my opinion, Jonathan Brooks, Blake Corum, and Trey Benson are all kind of right there. They're all kind of equal in my mind. They all have great qualities that the other one maybe lacks on. The talent between the three is very good. I'm going to shoot my shot here on Blake Corum just because, like Shane said, I can put him on my bench. I can let him set. He's my RB3. And I'm perfectly content on seeing where he lands, what he ends up being. Does he have production? What's he going to be all about? So I'm perfectly fine taking a rookie running back right there in Blake Corum as my third running back. So after I drafted Blake, Deshaun Watson, Dallas Goedert off the board. Jason, you're on the clock at the 9:12, and we have a couple more rounds here.
So with this pick, I'm going to lean into. I haven't decided between a rookie or a vet that I know I can start right now. So I think I'm going to go with a vet initially, just to give me a little safety. I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth. Then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go a rookie. And this is just I love this guy. His numbers and his combine didn't look that good, but I still think he can be a playmaker in this league. Give me Coleman.
Okay.
Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman off the board. I agree with his athletic metrics are off the chart. We know that he did get injured his last year in college. I think, to be honest, I think that kind of is what made him suffer a little bit at the combine. I don't think he's quite fully confident in his capabilities. I know he's a little bit of a slower guy, but he's kind of a thicker guy, can jump out of the gym, make circus catches.
He was basketball.
It'll be interesting to see where he lands.
He literally was a basketball player. He had a 39.5-inch vert. I'm shocked it wasn't 40. His biggest issue, even in college, was the fact he can't separate. And he's not going to be a separator in the NFL. It's just not his game. He's always going to be the guy that goes up and gets it. And that's the story about Keon. And yeah, that's it. You know the player you're getting with Keon, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. What do I want to do? What do I want to do here? I kind of want to shoot my shot on. I'm hoping he'll fall to me. We'll see if you boys let him fall.
Wait, do we have more rounds after this? Oh, we have 2 more rounds after this?
Yeah, it goes to round 12. So we'll see if this dude falls to me. And we'll go from there. All right, my next pick here. I feel like I'm just loading too much on wide receivers, but what the hey? Give me Jerry Jeudy. Give me Jerry Jeudy at the 10:04. Just signed a big contract with Cleveland. Let's see what you're made of. This is my 5th running back or 5th wide receiver. So again, just a bench guy. Could plug and play as a flex. We'll see how he does and shoot for the moon there. So I took Jerry Jeudy. Evan Ingram off the board, Cortland Sutton, Jerome Ford, Darren Waller, who quite possibly could be retired. We do not know. Shane, you are back on the clock.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue, I think, the rookie train at this point because
Damn it, don't do it.
most of these people are either old or cheeks. Although Joshua Palmer
Like
does sound kind of nice right now. I think
Yeah.
that the value is pretty
Yeah.
massive with Palmer, and he's getting
And
really slapped.
computer-
He had good production.
And the computer has not computed all this yet. Obviously, there'd be some rookies taking it before now with the 12th round. So we have to take all that into account too. But yeah, I agree. I love Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a rookie. And it depends on what his landing spot is in the real NFL. And I think it might be in the good old red and white. So Lad McConkey, come on down, buddy.
Why the hell didn't I just draft? You took who I should. That's who I was talking about. That's who I was. I should have just drafted him.
I think that there's a really good chance that if he's available at 32, the Chiefs go with Lad. I think that there are some other interesting options there, but I think that he fits the Chiefs' prototypical wide receiver insanely well. And with Hollywood being a rental, there's no reason for them not to incentivize the position still. So yeah, Lad, join the squad, my
I
boy.
didn't think there's.
Welcome
did
to the
not think
team.
Didn't think there was any chance you were taking him.
I almost didn't, Matt. I almost took a different rookie, but I couldn't skip on Lad just because I think the landing spot will be there. And then, man, this board is ugly.
Well, you think about that. Kirk Cousins went off the board after Ladd. Michael Mayer off the board. Will Levis after that. Then swing on the 11th round. Nuke. DeAndre Hopkins went at 11:01. Jahan Dotson 11:02. Jacoby Myers at 11:03. Shane, you are back at 11:04. And we have one round left after this.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my running back, and I have this zoomed out so far so that everybody can see our picks. I can't read. Jalen Wright, come on down, buddy. The Tennessee running back who is actually not afraid to block, which means he's going to stay on the NFL field a whole lot longer, and he also has home run potential. My only concern with Jalen, number one, is landing spot. Number two is he bounces the ball outside way too damn much. He just needs to run between the tackles at times and not look for the big play. And that's my biggest concern about him at the NFL level.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that one bit. I'm still a little shook
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy.
from the Ladd McConkey pick there. That was.
I would give you my replacement pick for Ladd McConkey, who is also, I think, on the Chiefs board, but I think he's gone way before the Chiefs get to him.
Is everybody on the Chiefs board?
No. I think that there's three guys that if they are there, the Chiefs will take. I could tell you who I think the Steelers take in round 2.
Who do you think they take in round 2?
Ricky Pearsall.
Yep.
He's Deontay Johnson.
I am like, that is, it's funny that you said that because even before the podcast earlier today, I was talking to one of my guys, one of my coworkers, and he's a Steelers fan as well. And we both agree that if he's there in round 2, that's who we think the Steelers are going to take. It all depends on if they can trade. If they trade for a wide receiver, they still could take him in round 2. I still think if they trade for a wide receiver for the draft, they'll go offensive lineman, their first round pick, and then a second round pick, they'll probably go.
Yeah, he's a fantastic separator, and that's what you lost with Deontay. If you know that you can get literally the guy that does what you had Deontay doing, which was separate and get open, why not replace him 1 for 1?
Yeah, I agree with you there. Okay, so after Shane took Jalen Wright, Tyler Lockett off the board, Michael Wilson, Cole Kmet, Elijah Moore. I'm going to shoot my shot again on a rookie running back. Give me Trey Benson. We just talked about it a little bit.
Love that.
I don't mind having both those two rookies on my bench. See what happens between them. We'll see what happens. I've got all my spots filled. At this point now, we're just doing bench spots. So I'm happy with having Trey on my bench and see where it goes. Luke Musgrave went off the board next. newly acquired New York Jet Mike Williams, who cannot stay healthy. Congratulations, Team 11. You have Mike Williams on your roster. And which actually is probably good value. It's probably good value in the 11th round because you never know. All right, Jason, you're back on the clock at the swing here. 11-12 and 12-01.
I'm going 2 rookies right here. I've taken long shots, especially for my depth, but since it's a startup dynasty draft, I'm going with how do you say his name? Adonai Mitchell, UT.
Yep.
Then the guy I'm big.
Adonai.
Yeah,
Adonai Mitchell. But... Okay, so same thing. Then Johnny Wilson. I love Johnny Wilson. He might get converted into a tight end. I love his tangibles that he has, 6'7", maybe a little slow, but his athleticism and his pro day was pretty good. So I was like, hey, I'm going to take a long shot with him.
Yeah, and those are 2 good picks there. And remember, guys, with a dynasty startup, it's obviously going to be like 26, 28 rounds. We're just doing a 12-round draft here just because for the sake of time. So, yeah, love those picks. Chuba Hubbard went 1202. Romeo Dobbs at 1203. Pretty good value for old Romeo, who I still think is being slept on. But I'm going to go with another rookie here. There's still quite a few rookies that I'm excited about that are on the board. I'm kind of waiting to see where their landing spots are going to be. I think that's going to be indicative of where they get drafted. But just for the sake of it, I've got Jordan Love on my bench, or as my starting quarterback. Who do you think I'm taking? I'm taking a rookie quarterback. Who do you think it's going to be?
Drake May.
He's the most for sure of the options, but I'm thinking it's Jaden Daniels because of the rushing upside.
Yeah, it's funny that you both landed both on those guys. You know, I think Drake May is the more NFL rookie or more NFL ready quarterback of the ones that are left on the board. Like Shane said, Jaden Daniels, the rushing upside there. He's a little small, little skinny. I'm afraid he might get hurt. But to be honest with you, J.J. McCarthy, I'm still pretty high on, and I don't think he's getting talked about enough. I think his arm is one of these rookie quarterbacks or 2 is going to be a bust. That's just inevitable. We know that. It happens every single year. Caleb Williams, he's going to be handed a gift in Chicago with the weapons that he has now. And if he cannot perform, then
that fan base will burn that whole field to the ground.
Yeah.
They'll have to build a new stadium.
But no, you're right. I am going to go with Drake May. I will regret that pick if he goes to New England because I'm sorry, New England, but you're just trash team. So give me Drake May. Let's see what he does as my QB2 here. Wan'Dale Robinson went. Kendre Miller. Then Tyler Algier at 1207. Dontavian Wicks, 1208. That's okay. Okay, I see you, Dontavian. Shane, you're back on the clock at 1209 to finish out our draft here.
I really like that Wicks pick, actually. In startups and just in general, Wicks is a guy that was one of the ultimate separators at the NFL last year and should continue to produce, especially with Jordan Love stepping forward. I am going to go with the guy who I thought you were going to take in replace of Vlad McConkey, Matt. That's Xavier Worthy. Worthy, everybody knows, broke the combine. But early breakout, broke out as a freshman, continued his college production, out-received Adonai Mitchell as far as production goes, had a massive target share. He is a complete route runner, and I just love Worthy, and we all knew he was fast. Him breaking the combine wasn't, like, shocking. He's a track star. But, like, we didn't know how fast he would be, and I think that solidifies this as my first-round pick, and I think that matters substantially to the value that he'll have within an organization. And then,
I like it.
And then after me went Dalton Schultz, Geno Smith, and Raheem the Dream Mostert to finish the draft.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up the draft. What a fun little startup draft here. Go ahead and read off your guys' rosters real quick, and we'll conclude it with that.
Shane, you can go
first.
Yeah, I have Caleb Williams as my starting quarterback, Bijan Robinson as RB1, Ramondre Stevenson as RB2, Brandon Ayuk as wide receiver 1, Marvin Harrison as wide receiver 1B, Trey McBride as tight end 1, Rome Odunze as the flex, Brian Thomas on the bench, Jonathan Brooks on the bench, Lad McConkey, Jalen Wright, and Xavier Worthy. If you guys didn't realize, I love the NFL draft.
Jason, who you got?
QB1, Kyler. RB1, Jameer Gibbs. RB2, Nick Chubb. Wide receiver 1, Puka Nakua. Wide receiver 2, Tank Dell. Tight end, Brock Bowers. Flex, Zay Flowers. Bench is Calvin Ridley, Pat Fryermuth, Keon Coleman, Adonai. Did I say it right?
Adonai.
Adonai
bench.
Yeah. Johnny Wilson.
All right. And then I ended up with Jordan Love as my QB1, Isaiah Pacheco, Saquon Barkley as my 2 starting running backs, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill as my 2 starting wide receivers, Kyle Pitts as my starting tight end, Marquise Hollywood Brown in my flex, Malik Neighbors, Blake Corum, Jerry Jeudy, Trey Benson, and Drake May on the old bench piece. So that's going to wrap up today's episode with the fun mock draft. We have plenty more where that came from.
Yeah, and if you guys are
anything
listening to us on only audio, thank you guys for sticking around. And if you want to go see the whole draft board, we will have it on the beautiful YouTube. Go check out our page, and you'll be able to see our beautiful faces and, see the whole draft board, see how pretty it looks, see that my team absolutely dominated.
Yes, do that. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. We do have
leave a comment.
Plenty more where this came from. Yep, leave a comment. Head on over to all our socials, follow us, subscribe, leave us reviews, 5-star reviews. Really does help us out, guys. And with that being said, I think you all know what to do.
Hey guys, it's draft season. Do not get fatigued. Stick to your gut. You got this.
Stay easy.
All right, guys. Until next episode, we love y'all to the moon and back. Bye-bye.